Annyeonghaseyo! Welcome to Afternoona Delight, where Leah, Megan, and Amy, romance novelists, and your K-romance guides. So grab some dekboki and listen to your new favorite unnies. Hello, everybody. This is Megan.
Hi, everyone. It's Amy.
We kind of did like a combo of like Leah's greeting and our greetings.
But we did not use last names because we don't need to.
No. So it's just Amy and I tonight because the drama we were talking about, Amy and I watched, and we are excited. But before we get to it, I just wanted to mention about kind of a crazy thing I did this weekend. I think we're going to talk a little bit more about this on our uncensored, kind of like what it means to like do something for yourself and only yourself and have it be a little indulgent, because that's what I did this weekend. I flew to Texas for one day to see ATEEZ, my favorite K-pop group, in concert. I live in Pennsylvania. Okay, this wasn't
Nowhere
like
near you.
This wasn't a hop, skip, and a jump.
No.
Okay, I changed time codes. I was in CST. And it was a wild trip. I landed, took a Uber to the stadium directly. So I had like this tiny bag. I packed. Leah was so proud of me. I packed so light. So
You had to go right to the stadium, right?
I had to go right to the stadium. Thank you to Globe Life Field for having a generous bag policy, so I didn't have to fly with a clear bag. But I took an Uber. I got there, like the doors had already opened actually when I got there. I got there about 10 minutes after the doors opened. But I just kind of like chilled outside for a little bit. It wasn't as hot in Texas as it can be. Went inside, breathed my heart out, had the best time in the stadium, and then so I was with a friend, and we get back to the hotel room, and this is like midnight. And I look at my phone, and it's like my plane ticket information, and it says your flight boards in 8 hours. I was like, this feels crazy. Like I obviously had to go to bed. I was like, I slept for a little bit. And then I woke up and got an Uber at 6:30 to go back to the airport. And what was hilarious is that I was gone. I basically was gone from my car at the parking garage at BWI Airport for 24 hours.
Even less than.
Actually less, a few minutes less, because it only charged me for one day. But we're talking like 15 minutes less.
Like minutes.
It was a wild and crazy trip, but it was so worth it. And I want to say too, the plane ticket was actually pretty affordable. I fly Southwest. The concert ticket was also affordable, and I split a hotel. So I just don't want people to think that I'm like this crazy.
But you're already justifying
I am.
doing one nice thing for yourself. Like, shut up.
Like,
shut up.
Do this.
Be nice to yourself. You
I know.
Deserved it.
Right. It was so much fun. I had such an amazing time, and Texas was a great crowd. So, and what was funny is after I went, I posted a little bit on social media, like on our podcast social media, that I was there, and I had a whole bunch of people DM me, like, I mean, probably 5 people, and they were like, I was there. I didn't know you were there. And I really didn't announce it ahead of time because I knew I wasn't going to have time to meet as much as I would want to.
You had zero time.
I got there, the doors opened, I got in my, it was like not like I could hang out really at all. And so if you were there, and I'm sorry, I guess I was there with you in like AT's spirit. Like we all sung the same words together. And hopefully next time they tour, I'll, it was a crazy trip, but it was so fun. And I will say, like, Amy and Leah really were like encouraging about it. When I talk to you guys about it, you're like, go. I know it sounds crazy.
We all traveled for concerts this year.
We did.
Like, you had 24 hours. I mean, not the whole 24 hours, but you had 24 hours of like pure joy just for you.
I did.
That's nothing to like qualify with like disclaimers and stuff like that. Like, you did something for yourself, and that's good.
It was so fun, and because I had seen them already in Baltimore, but I wanted to see them at, like, a bigger, a bigger venue because I just hadn't yet. So that was, like, a new experience, and it was really fun. Um, and, I purposely for this time was like, "I'm taking less video and pictures," and I really didn't. I didn't take much of anything. I just really tried to, like, be in the moment, which I also highly recommend. Like, just with my light stick, my shoulder hurt from, like, just going crazy with my light stick, going crazy. I thoroughly enjoyed myself.
I'm
So,
super happy
anyway,
for you. I'm very
thank
happy that
you.
you did it, and I'm glad that you're still kind of, like, basking in the afterglow.
And that's the thing, it's like, I look back and I'm like, "God, that was so fun." It was so and as I'm like, my schedule goes haywire now with the kids going back to school and their sports schedules, I kinda still have that, like, to fall back on, like, that where I'm, like, not stressed for 3 hours. Yeah. Anyway, so thank you for the support, both you and Leah, and also, like, listeners, because I had a lot of people who were like, "I'm so glad you went," and, yeah, so thank you.
We have to choose the things that bring us joy, whether it's traveling for a concert, dragging your non-K-pop friends to go with you to see K-pop Demon Hunters sing along,
Yes,
all of
yes,
it.
all of it.
So,
Let's do it, let's do it.
let's do it.
And and watching K-dramas,
And watching K-dramas.
and that's what we're talking about today, obviously. Very excited to talk about this one.
Yeah, I feel like it's like we've been waiting a while to talk about this.
We have because we watched it
Live. We watched it
live.
100% live. And so this wa yeah, so, I mean, we'll just get into it. Head Over Heels, or the literal translation is Yeonu and the Fairy, is a 2025 Studio Dragon K-drama that aired live on Prime on Mondays and Tuesdays from June 23rd to July 29th. And it's crazy to me that July 29th was so long ago. We're recording this right now on August 20th. Like, I feel like that's forever ago already, like, summer's
Right,
over.
I know.
It hits that sweet spot for me, I hope for you too, of being only 12 episodes, and each episode was an hour. Maybe, like, an hour and 5 minutes, but, like, that would be it. An hour. So perfect. So the drama originated as a webcomic by An Soon Min and was adapted for the screen by Yang Ji-hoon and directed by Kim Young-won, who also directed another one of our faves, If You Wish Upon Me. And as soon as I read that, I was like, I feel the vibes. Like, I
I do
feel the
too.
vibes.
I absolutely feel the vibes now that this is brand new information to me tonight. So, but I get it now.
Yep. So, as always, we'll start our deep dive by keeping things spoiler free, and we'll give you a heads up after the K pop rec to remind you that we are heading into spoiler town. But for now, let's start with who said it best, meaning what's your favorite blurb for this drama? So, I grabbed 3 different blurbs, one from IMDb, which is Internet Movie Database, one from Prime, which is where this aired, and one from Asian Wiki. So, let's see if these if they get it or if there's stuff that's missing. So, IMDb. A high school girl encounters a mysterious boy visiting a ferry with his mother. Despite falling for him instantly, she discovers his tragic fate. When he transfers to her class, she becomes determined to change his destiny. So, there's one. This is Prime. Sung-ah is a student by day and a shaman by night. She's looked down upon by others for seeing and dealing with ghosts, but she smiles and perseveres. She's used to being different. Handsome Gyonu is like a candle in the wind, plagued by misfortune, and Sung-ah vows to protect him the day he walks into her shrine upside down. This is a story about first love and how love conquers all, okay? And now Asian Wiki. Pak Sung-ah, who's played by Cho Yi-hyun, is a high school student, but at night she is a shaman named Fairy Chunji, which means heaven and earth fairy, by the way. When she works as a shaman, she covers her face partially to hide her identity. She is famous as Fairy Chunji, and she is busy working with her clients who come to ask about their futures, fortunes, illnesses, and other things. One night, Bae Gyonu, played by Chu Young-woo, and his grandmother, it says mother, it's grandmother.
It is.
I copied and pasted here. It's grandmother.
Yeah.
And his grandmother come to visit Fairy Chunji. Pak Sung-ah has a crush on him at first sight, but she sees that he is destined to die soon. The next day, Beganu appears in front of her as a new transfer student in her class. She decides to save him from his destiny. So, are any one of these three better than the others? And is anything missing that wasn't covered in these three that you would use to kind of like, pitch this drama?
Yeah, I mean, Asian Wiki, no. Ugh.
Although I do, yeah, I mean, I do have to say, I mean, it's like a literal translation, Asian Wiki. Like everything in Asian Wiki is true except for the mother versus grandmother thing.
Right.
But yeah, it assumes that you understand things, I think, that you don't understand.
Well, it's also too long.
It
So
is.
I like IMDb, but I don't like the first sentence. I feel like I like a mix between IMDb and Prime. So here's
You
the thing
you
that
don't you don't like the first sentence of IMDb. I was gonna say I like the first sentence of Prime. I think that's a good
yes,
sentence. Like
that's actually
that it's an immediate hook right there.
that's actually I think that's I'm saying I kind of want yeah, I kind of want like a mix. Like I want the fact that she's a student by day and a shaman by night, and then she instantly meets her first love and then learns that he is basically cursed. Like if we're gonna I realize there's but that's the
Yeah, I
gist
mean
of it.
that's not a spoiler. I mean he's cursed to die in 21 days.
Yeah, and then she wants to change his fate. Like that's it. Those are the main things that I want. I want first love. I want the fact that she kind of has a secret identity because that's a great trope.
Yes.
And then I want the fact that she has to like save him. Those are really the three things that I want to know up front. Do I also want to know there's a body swap? Yes, but that's kind that's kind of a spoiler, so I get it. I get it.
I mean, like, I think it was fun to not know that, though. I mean, yes, that's a selling point. Like, we like body swap stuff, and it's a selling point. But I think it was fun to get that surprise, you know, into the drama.
Totally, totally, totally. So
And
yeah,
it
that's
doesn't,
how
but
I feel.
it's not a spoiler that's going to ruin the drama for you because you don't know who body swaps and why.
No, no.
So we'll just say that.
Yeah. So what do you
Um,
think?
Yeah, I really like Primes. Primes is my
Mhm.
favorite. Um, Especially like IMDb, a high school girl encounters a mysterious boy visiting a fairy. Like if you don't know that fairy means shaman, like I think there's something lost in the translation there that I think IMDb doesn't know that they've messed up kind of
Right.
thing.
Yeah.
Because at least in Asian Wiki, they refer to her as Fairy Chunji, but they do say she is a shaman named Fairy Chunji. Like
Mhm.
she is not a fairy, she is like that's her shaman name, Heaven and Earth Fairy. So,
Yeah, which is I love that shaman
I
name.
love it. Yeah, I
Mhm.
love it so much. But yeah, they're like a little bit of a combination. Yeah, Asian Wiki really needs to start cutting theirs down
Yeah.
because
Again,
the big paragraphs are a little bit much.
hire us to write them. Okay?
I would make it my full-time job.
Me too.
I would love that so much.
That'd be amazing.
So much. Okay, so you watched this drama first and you got me on board. So what got you on?
So this is very funny is that I watched Mercy for None, which you absolutely don't want to watch. It
Absolutely, I
is
will
like
not. Nope.
it is the opposite of an Amy drama. So Mercy for None is it's a revenge drama and it's non-stop bloody fighting. I mean it's crazy. But anyway, there is like a prosecutor, he's like the son of one of the gangsters. And a slight spoiler, like you think he's good, but he's not good, and he is played by Chu Young-woo. And to me, he looked brand new. Like I was like, who is this guy? Why is he playing this part so good? Why is he so nice to look at? Like immediately I'm like, what else has he been in? I need to watch him. So literally just from his smallish role in Mercy for None, I was like, I need to see him in something else. And immediately head over heels was being promoted. Like it was like kind of like he did it like
Back to back.
back to back basically.
Mhm.
And I'm like, perfect. Oh my gosh. And this is a totally different role. So let's start. And then I find out he also was in one of my favorite BLs, which is a K-drama BL, which is Dance with Me. I saw Dance with Me. It was one of the first Korean BLs I had ever seen. It's delightful. It's very sweet. Is it, like, going to change your life, like, let free the curse of taekwondo? No, but it was very good and sweet, and I loved it. It had a really nice HEA. And so, like a true good romance. I did not realize it was him because it was also clearly very early in his career, and I can tell he's improved in his acting. Not that it was bad back then, but just not as good as now.
And
Especially
he is still young.
oh my god, he's like
He's
26.
26.
Yeah, so he must have done Dance with Me, oh my gosh, so young, you know? But anyway, so that is honestly, I watched this drama for him, and then once I realized that the heroine, Cho Yi-hyun, is Namra from All of Us Are Dead,
Oh my gosh.
and let me just say, first of all, I loved her in Head Over Heels.
Oh,
She
loved.
was so freaking delightful because she had to carry this drama, which we'll get to, for the first half. She was
Yes.
really carrying this drama on her tiny shoulders, and doing the major lifting, and she killed it. So, yeah, anyway, that's it. And then well, this kind of leads into our next question, what's a comp? But basically I said, "Amy, I'm watching Head Over Heels, and it's Lovely Runner with shamans.
Yep.
You need to watch it."
Yep. 100%. And I was like, "All right, that's all I need." And she really is she really is very much like the heroine in Lovely Runner.
Oh my gosh,
Like,
yeah.
plucky, smiley, like, will do anything to save the hero. I loved it. Loved that. I mean, there's you all know, like, I've talked about it more than once, like, a wounded hero, whether it's emotionally wounded, physically wounded, like, a wounded hero is my favorite. And, in Lovely Runner, we have, and this is not a spoiler for anybody who hasn't seen Lovely Runner yet, but Runner, we have heroine trying to save the hero from death, supposedly taking his own life, maybe being murdered, we don't know. And in this one, she's trying to save him literally from a curse that is threatening to kill him in 3 weeks.
Yeah. It's if you like the kind of character archetypes of Lovely Runner, it's head over heels. I mean, I don't know, it's probably the most direct comp I've ever felt in a K-drama.
I think another one, because you didn't watch it, another good comp that I literally watched, like, right before this was Haunted Palace.
Right.
And that even though Haunted Palace was not, I mean, it wasn't a total miss for me, it just was it was kinda mid. Um, like, I liked it enough that I finished the whole thing, but I didn't love it enough to, shout about it on the podcast. But Haunted Palace is basically like a Seguk fantasy, right? So we have a shaman who can commune with ghosts, and we have a body swap with the hero and an Amugi in Haunted Palace.
Love a good body
So
swap.
yeah, so the body swap, and then I mean, we'll get more into it later because I don't want to spoil body swap stuff right now, but I love the implications of what happens in the body swap in this drama and the kind of questions that you kind of ask yourself along the way while you're watching. But we'll
Yeah.
get there.
We'll
We will
get
get
there.
there. Yeah. Okay. So from a story standpoint, what aspects of this drama, and you've already brought some up, like make for tasty ingredients to like cook up a romance? Like in other words, like what are the good tropes that we have
And this
in
was
Head Over
oh,
Heels? Yeah.
yeah, this was very tropey, which was
Yes.
one of the reasons I was so into it at like especially like from jump. Like the first few episodes I was very into because it kind of had a lot of the romance tropes I like. It had love at first sight. I realize not everyone likes that. Totally respect. If that's not for you, I love it. I'm sorry. I
Insta
love
love.
it.
Yeah, in Romance Landia, we call it Insta love. And
Yeah.
it can be really fun. It can be really
I
fun.
thought this one was fun.
Yeah.
Okay. I
Especially
love
because
the
it was not reciprocate it's not reciprocated,
right.
like,
I
at
thought it
all.
was
It's so fun.
I thought it was so fun. You definitely have kind of like, you have like sunshine, grumpy sunshine a little bit.
A
Um,
lot of it. Oh my gosh.
well, true, a lot of it. You have, like I said, the secret identity, which is always really fun in romance because it kind of adds that extra layer of tension that you don't want the significant or you don't want the other person to find out who you really are. I guess those are the ones that pop into my head first.
Yeah. I like the Insta-Love. I feel like I like Insta-Love even more when there's some sort of, like, magical paranormal aspect to it as well.
Yes, same.
And so that always hits for me because the Insta-Love here makes her want to do everything in her power to save him. Like, she
Mhm.
could just be a shaman and be like, "Welp, you're cursed and you're gonna die in 3 weeks, like, good luck to
Right,
you."
right.
But she doesn't. She makes it her life's mission to save him, which she's not supposed to do. She's not supposed to get involved in the people's lives who come to her for help. So, yeah, so the Insta helps with that. We have a love triangle.
Oh,
It's
yeah.
not it's not a compelling love triangle in that you worry about who's going to end up with who, but I still think it's well done and we'll get to it later in our spoiler section, but we have a love triangle and I love the love triangle. Um we have a body swap, like you said, body swap trope. We won't tell you whose body swaps with whose until we
Frickin'
get there.
love the body
It's
swap.
so good. It's so good. It like spun this drama on its axis in such a good way. So much fun. Um yeah, so very tropey, like very romance tropey. Love it so much. Love that her secret identity as heaven and earth fairy is she just wears like an almost transparent veil
My god, it's like
over her nose and mouth, and I'm like, anybody who can't I mean, it's like Clark Kent and Superman, like, "Glasses? Glasses and a new do?" Like,
so true. I'm like, we can all see who you are, really?
it's so good. Yeah, but I mean, it is really fun because she almost has, like, dual identities because she is the shaman, and then nobody at school knows she's a shaman, and she's actually bullied a lot at school, and she's so, like, feisty and takes no shit when she is being her true self as a shaman, but at school, she, like, smiles and nods at everybody, and that becomes an issue, and Gnu sees it, and it's fun when that kind of plays a part in their relationship, but yeah, she's a secret shaman, and it's fun. Okay, so really one last question before we get to our spoiler section, because I have seen a pattern.
I know, I know.
So, earlier in our drama watching years, I I have tried to get Megan to watch one of my favorite high school dramas, Extraordinary You. It was an assignment for the pod back in the day when we each got to pick. I will never let this go.
You don't you shouldn't. You shouldn't let it go. You should bring it up and shame me every time. You really should.
because it was an assignment where like somebody got to pick the drama for three different, shows, and it was my turn, and it was Extraordinary You. And Megan she just pieced out and didn't watch it.
I'm such a bitch. I know. I don't I still do feel bad about it. I don't know what my problem was.
Because look at who's
Mm,
in it. Like
I know.
we've got a love triangle with Rowan and EJ Ook. And the funny thing about that is like they're two of my favorites. And obviously EJ Ook is one of your favorites from, Hong Rong now. But I feel like Chu Young Woo is like the AI love child of Rowan and EJ Ook. Like
Oh, that's funny. Okay.
he just something about him reminds me of both of them
Yeah.
in a very good way.
Yeah.
In a very good way.
Agreed.
But anyway, I digress. So you claimed for so long, I can't do high school dramas. I can't. How many high school dramas have you watched recently?
This year has been crazy. I don't know what is going on. I watched Study Group, and Study Group is still one of my top dramas of the year, might be my top drama of the year, and I've watched a lot of good stuff. Okay. So, Study Group, Undercover High School, which was half and half a high school
I
drama.
know, I
Like,
know,
I
I
mean, give
know.
me a little bit of a credit there. I watched Weak Hero Class, 100% a high school drama. Um, am I missing one? Way Back Love had a lot of high school stuff in
Way
it.
Back Love had a lot of high school stuff in it. I mean, yeah, and that's all been like in the past few months.
That's what I'm saying. Like all of
Yeah.
those in 1 year plus this, I don't know what's come
And
over
you
me.
went to this first and like got
Yeah.
me on board.
Oh yeah, this was all me. literally just because I wanted to watch
So
Chu
is it safe
Young-woo.
to say that, like, high school dramas are kinda your thing now?
No, I can't go that far. I don't know, we'll see what the future holds. I'm not drawn to high school dramas, but there's something about all of those that sucked me in. I don't know.
I'm not drawn to high school dramas except for the 5 that I watched recently.
I know, right? I don't know what to say, it's crazy. It's crazy.
Well, there's a lot to spoil in this drama, and we really wanna get to it, so we will pause for a moment and do our K-pop rec of the week because Megan has a very fun recommendation this week.
I am so pumped about this song and this group. I can't even handle it. So I love Monsta X, massive Monsta X fan. They've been around like a decade. You know, if you're a K-pop fan, you know Monsta X. And they're all out of the military, finally. Okay. And these are men, ladies and gentlemen. The leader Shonu is 33. Like these are men. It's the best. And so they're all out of the military. They have a comeback. I'm not quite sure when this episode is airing, but they have a comeback in September. So probably when you're listening to this, it's like
Soon,
very, yeah.
soon.
And but as of today, they have a single out and it's called Do What I Want. And it is everything that I kind of want from Monsta X. Um, it's different, it's catchy, it's fun, and like they're shirtless a lot. Okay, so first of all, the video is giving very, like, 2000 vibes. Some people said 90s, but for me, it's 2000s.
Early 2000s.
Early 2000 vibes.
Yeah.
Um, I don't know why, but they have prosthetic, like, horns on their forehead and ears, and they look like CW demons. Like, they look straight out of Buffy the Vampire Slayer, and I do not hate it. I don't know why. I don't know the reason why
It has
they
nothing
have
to do
this.
with it. It has nothing to do with anything happening in the video.
Nothing to do with anything happening. And you know what? I don't care. It's great because I'm like, I am massively entertained by this music video because it's so weird. It is so weird. And the song is just good. Like, I just love Monsta X. I always love the energy they bring. I always think that they have something unique to bring to K-pop, and they did it. And so I'm so stoked. Please listen to Do What I Want. Please watch the video because it's
We will link it in the show
yeah,
notes because it's so fun.
it is. It's very fun. So yeah, anyway, Monsta X, do what I want. Do what I do what I do what I want. All right.
Just like it's our podcast, we'll do what we want.
Exactly.
Like, get to the spoilers.
Yeah, like
So that's where we are.
that's what we
How
that's what
about
we want to
that?
do.
That's what we wanna do. We wanna spoil. So from here on out, we will spoil the drama as we talk about the intricate details. So this is your chance to skedaddle and head over to Prime for a quick 12 hours because it really is a quick watch. And I will say it's a compelling watch. Like, even though we watched it live, and so sometimes when you watch something live, it feels more compelling than it is because it's 2 episodes a week. But, like, that was the first thing I wanted to do on Monday was
Same.
watch the next episode.
And I'm not a good live watcher. Let me just say that. A lot of times I will fizzle out on live watches because I'm just like, if it doesn't hold my attention for like 2 episodes, then I'm out. I waited every week. Like,
Mhm.
okay, it's Monday, thank God I can watch the new episodes.
Yeah, I mean, you started before me, but I think you were, like, maybe the first 2 episodes in, you're like, "Amy, you gotta watch this," and I jumped right on, I was like, "Oh, hell yes.
Yeah, it had
Hell
Amy
yes.
written all over it.
Yeah, this is my trauma."
Mhm.
Okay, so we're gonna start with the meet cute, which we've kind of already talked about in the blurbs, but Yeonu's grandma brings him to the shaman known as Heaven and Earth Fairy to try to get help for his curse of bad luck. Heaven and Earth Fairy is, of course, Sung-ah with a veil over her nose and mouth to protect her identity as a high school student. Two things happen when Yeonu enters her shrine. First, she falls immediately in love with him. And second, she sees him enter the room as if he's upside down and walking on the ceiling. So what does this mean? We already kind of discussed, like, we like love at first sight, but do you believe it? Do you believe in love at first sight? And why is walking on the ceiling weirdly hot?
Yeah, why was it? Because it was. So walking
It
on
was
the
like a
ceiling
slow, ominous walk
it
across the
is.
ceiling.
It
Yeah.
is, and it basically means death is coming, right? That's basically what it means.
That's how
And
she knew
so
immediately because he was upside down. Yeah.
so immediately she was like, "Oh my god, I love him. I'm in love with him. He is meant for me." And then she's like, "Fuck, he's gonna die." Which I just the juxtaposition of that, I think, is really cool and interesting as, like, the beginning of of a drama. Like, I was it was very kind of Goblin Bride-ish, that,
Yes.
like, that good conflict immediately. And look, I love at first sight. I mean, I don't know if I believe in it in real life, but I 100% believe in it in K-dramas. That's all. I don't I don't know if that makes sense. That's what I think.
100%. I love
Yeah.
it. But yeah, I mean, if anything, if you're on the fence about this drama, just look up a clip of Gnu walking upside down and
And there's,
you'll
like,
be in.
fire around
You'll
him
yep,
too.
you'll be in. Like
Yeah.
100% in. Oh god,
Also,
I love it.
let's just be real. Does Chu Young-woo as Gyanu look like a high school student? Not
No,
even close. Do they
no.
do anything to try to make him look like a high school student? No. No one's fooled. No.
Because and this is not an insult to him. Like he's just a very mature looking 26. Like he's a 26-year-old man who looks 30.
Yeah, and, like, in a good way. Like, he
Yes,
looks
in a
like a
good way. Like he
man.
just looks like a man.
He's
He is a
not
man.
Yeah, he's not one of those actors that has, like, a super baby face. He just doesn't.
No.
And so it's just hysterical to me that they were just like, "Yeah, sure, just cast this guy."
Look, it worked for me because
It
it made
did.
me feel less gross for
Mhm.
thinking a high schooler was hot, even though
Yeah.
he's still very young, but he looks like a man. And like, look, he's undeniably extremely attractive.
It's
Like, there's you cannot argue against it.
yeah, it was like, sometimes where you have, like, a show, and I'm not even talking about a K-drama, where, like, we're all meant to believe this person is super hot, and sometimes you're like, "I mean, they're good looking, but enough to,
Like,
like,
why
stop."
does everybody want
Yeah,
them?
like, enough to stop traffic, I don't know. Chu
Yeah.
Young-woo, stopping traffic. Like,
Yep.
he is that attractive that I believe it, that when he walks into the classroom, everyone's like, "Who the fuck is that?" Like, I
Yep.
fully believe that.
It was love at first sight for his entire class when he
Yeah,
walked in.
and fair.
Mhm. So, Sangha is initially raised by parents who exploited her shaman abilities for money, but was eventually taken in by General Dongchen, a master shaman played by one of our faves, Kimmy Kyung. So, what did you think of their relationship, their mother daughter relationship, even though they are not related by blood?
Yeah, I really liked it. I would say this is one thing that I could have had a little bit more of. Just the well, I don't know, maybe I didn't need more of it, because I think we did really get into how she kind of taught her to accept her abilities, because that was, like, the thing about Song-ah, is that she was, like, born with this ability to see ghosts. And her parents exploited it, but also thought she was, like, weird for it. Like, they kind of, like, they definitely othered her, whereas General Dong-chun was like, "I will accept you, and I will also help you not be ashamed of your abilities, and also, like, I'll give you a job."
Yeah, I mean,
Like,
teach you how to use them.
yeah, I'll teach you how to use them. I'll teach you how to be a shaman. And, and she was a parent. She was like she parented her. She tried to help Song's dreams, and yeah, I liked it.
Yeah, and I mean, there was definitely love there. Like you saw that. Like I remember being shocked when I found out they weren't blood relatives, that they weren't truly mother and daughter because she
Mm,
called her, Oma, and it was very much a mother-daughter relationship. Like, you had like the general's like very very stoic and professional until like Songa starts like, talking in her cute voice and
oh yeah.
Oma and it's so sweet and then they both just like dissolve into like peals of laughter and stuff like that. And it's just so sweet. Um, and it is like you can tell that there is real love there. So much so, like I said, that I didn't know going in that they weren't related. And when you find out, it's very surprising. Okay. We have a whole little shaman family in this drama with Sang Ah and the general. Isumi is as auntie, Lee Young Ran as great aunt, and Yu Byung Hee as flower master. So, how does this atypical family illustrate that love and family comes in all shapes and sizes? Because I think that was a big part of this drama too. Not just with them, but we'll see as we go on, but this idea of found family.
Yeah, there was definitely a found family because I feel like they all were, like, different, and they were probably othered by a lot of people, so they had to come together. One thing I liked is, Yoon Byung-hee, who is the flower master. He was he wears makeup, he, paints his nails, and I was a little worried that sometimes when you have a character like that, they tend to be punchlines still in
Yeah, he could have
K-dramas.
been a caricature
He
and
could have been a caricature, and I wanna say that he absolutely was not. He was caring, he was empathetic, he was smart, he was talented as a flower master. I really started to come around to him, and I was just so glad, and he was just himself, and it
Mhm.
was never made to feel like he couldn't be himself, and it also didn't, again, as you said, I didn't feel like he was a caricature, and I really loved that and appreciated it.
And I think that kinda ties into the general, like, trying to teach Sangha to be proud of of her true self because he was very unapologetically himself. Sometimes for comedic effect, but it was never laughing at him.
Yeah, exactly. He was definitely involved in comedy and he was funny, but I never felt like it
Yes.
was making him the punchline.
Right. And I thought that was really well done, and I really liked it.
Well, Yanu is, as we both call him, Eeyore. For much of the first half of the drama, he's depressed because he's cursed, and he's weirded out by Songa, who seems to want to be near him 24/7, even though he has no interest in her. And his bad luck eventually culminates when his grandmother dies and he's left literally alone. Like, this guy, it's bad, okay? Like, he's Eeyore, but he also very much has a reason to be Eeyore.
Yes.
But, yeah, so what did you think of our morose hero prior to the second half of the drama, and were you worried he would just keep letting life happen to him instead of getting some agency?
It was a big worry for me in the beginning because, like I said, we have this beautiful man playing a high school student, and, like, the screen is very nice to look at just for the visuals. But I was a little worried that he was just letting all of this, like, terrible shit happen and not fighting back in any way, shape, or form. Like, just kind of accepting that, like, he's fated for misery and there's nothing he's gonna do about it. And it fits the story, but I remember messaging you and saying, like, 'cause I I was like, I really like this, but, like, if he does not, like, get some agency and start, like, doing instead of reacting, I'm gonna be upset. Um, and it he does get some agency in an unexpected way,
Yeah.
but
Yeah, okay.
he does end up getting agency as himself later in the drama, but the agency comes in first with, possession.
Yeah, I was the same as Amy. I understood why his character was the way he was, but that doesn't necessarily make for an interesting character in a drama. Like, if you're gonna I understand that, like, yeah, it's maybe understandable, but that's not usually how we wanna write a character. You wanna make sure the character is not just being acted upon by the plot, like, you want them to react to the plot, you want them to have a goal, because he didn't really have a goal at the beginning. He was like, everyone just leave me alone. I'm gonna, like, succumb to my terrible fate." And it wasn't really until later in the drama that he started to make choices, and actively have a goal, for himself and for others. So I was really glad when he got agency. Did I think it was done perfectly? No, we'll get to it, but I still was happy with that. At
Yes,
least
I
he
was
wasn't
happy.
he was not Eeyore for 12 episodes.
No, he wasn't, and I think and this does go into this, like, does fit the story, like, I think it took so long because it took so long for him to realize that that other people were there for him other than his grandma, because he didn't trust Sung-ah for a long time, he didn't trust Jiho, who we're gonna talk about in a second. He didn't trust these people who seemed to want to befriend him, and then he does get betrayed, when he finds out she's a shaman and in his eyes, he's like, "This was all just you being a you shamanizing me." So he has some big time trust issues, and his trust issues are with shamans, and rightfully so, and we'll get to that. So I understand the length of time that it took, but I also agree, like, that does not make for good storytelling if you have a character who just reacts for a lot of the time. But he looks really good doing it,
I
so
mean, that's the thing. I was like, "You know
yeah.
what? I'm gonna keep watching it because damn,
Yeah.
this
I
is
know.
really fun. He's even good at being Eeyore."
Yeah, I mean, it kinda takes me back to Undercover High School, where look, the story was ludicrous, like, absolutely ludicrous
Insane.
in a great way. Like, for any of you who have not watched, like, go listen to our podcast, like, we loved it, but the story is ludicrous, but everybody was just so fun to, like, look at and
It's
watch,
so
and that's all
fun.
that matters.
Yeah, sometimes I'm okay
Sometimes.
with that.
Sometimes it's all that matters. Sometimes we're here for the visuals. Anyway, okay, so I mentioned a love triangle, and this drama does have a love triangle of sorts. Sangha loves Kyonu, even when he wants nothing to do with her. Ji-ho, Sangha's best friend, played by Cha Kang-yoon, is in love with Sangha. Even though we know that Sangha is always going to choose Kyonu over Ji-ho, like she tells him that. She tells Ji-ho when he confesses his feelings.
Mhm.
Why does the love triangle still sort of work for the story?
Yeah, I mean, I think, it still works because of Jiho.
Yes.
Because Jiho is like, "Look, I'm still gonna be Song's friend, and I'm also not gonna hate Gyunu. I'm gonna, like" well, he starts to, I think, feel bad for Gyunu. He's like, "Geez, I mean, this guy's
Your
life
life
sucks."
sucks.
Like,
Yeah.
Jiho's like, "I might not have Song, but at least my life doesn't suck." And so I think Jiho then is like, I'm gonna help you out, buddy. And the friendship that ends up, it's like this like begrudging friendship between them, which I think is funny. It's almost like neither of them actually want it, but then they sort of like just are forced together and it just happens. And I think that's why I didn't mind the love triangle because it ended up turning into like this really cute kind of like trio, basically. They kind of just became the Three Musketeers.
Like, Jiho wasn't the type of person who got toxic because he didn't get what he wanted,
Oh, he's so
right?
sweet.
It makes me think of Love Scout, where we also had like heroine and hero were always going to be together, but we had like a side male character who was in love with the heroine. And when she said it's never going to happen, he still was like, okay, but I still care about you, so I'm going to support you.
Yeah, I'm still
And
gonna be your friend.
and that's what we have here with Jiho. Like, so Sangha doesn't love him, but it doesn't mean that he stops loving Sangha and wanting the best for her. And one of the things that he does for her to try and give her, what she needs is like when they're trying to save Keanu from the curse, they realize that he needs amulets by him all the time, right? Like shaman amulets. But the best amulet is a human amulet. Songa tries to be the human amulet for a long time, but like, stuff gets in the way and she's not always able to be around, Gyanu 24/7. And so then she talks Jiho into being a human amulet, and she in a scene that is way too sexy for its own good, like paints like the charms on his bare chest. Um so that he can, have all of the charms on him needed so that when he's near Gyonu, he can keep away, the suicide ghost and, any ghost that's trying to make him succumb to his misery. And so it's this begrudging friendship, like you say, but it's done in such a way that is so charming and funny, because even though Jiho's like, God damn, like, why am I doing this? He has to like hug Gyunu. He has to like, he'll like put his arms like around Gyunu while Gyunu is doing archery practice, because Gyunu is the safest when his human amulet is touching him. And of
So
course,
funny.
Gyunu has no idea what's going on for a
Yeah,
lot
so
of
he's
it.
like,
And
"Why
it's
are you
so
touching?"
funny.
Like,
Yeah,
"Why are you touching?" It was funny, both scenes where they both had to, like, touch him, and I thought maybe that having them both be human amulets was going to be redundant, but it ended up not, just because their relationship with Ganu was different. Like, Song-ah had a different relationship with Ganu than Jiho did. So, making them both human amulets just was funny. Like, it was like,
it
there
was.
it still felt different even though it was kind of like a similar type plot, basically. Yeah, I loved it. I thought, Jiho was so fun, and he was so fun throughout the whole drama.
And just yeah, just a great friend. Like, he stayed true to his friend even though she didn't feel the same way about him, and that's such a green flag, and I loved it.
So, I guess we're gonna kinda get into, like, the villain or one of the villains, maybe? But, so so let's kinda try to parse this out. So, Gyanu eventually does warm up to Songa and even finds himself falling for her. This is kind of when she's his human amulet, but he doesn't know it, but she kind of keeps touching him, wants to be around him. But then he catches her as Heaven and Earth Fairy doing a lantern dance with Yum Hua. We'll get to her outside an abandoned haunted house. So why does Gyanu feel so betrayed once he finds out that Songa is a shaman? Because I think this is kind of like a double.
It's a double whammy because it's
Yeah.
not only she's a shaman, but she is doing this very sort of intimate dance with, Yamwa, who we find out is a shaman who cursed Yanu, basically. Um, and I had to do some digging to, like, fit all the pieces together because I will say this is where the drama kind of fails a little bit in parsing out the backstory of Yanu and why she basically, like, plagued him. Because we see clips, like, when the grandma was trying to, like, get him uncursed, like, she would bring him to Yamwa, and Yamwa was not being a human amulet or anything, like, she was cursing him more. And in doing, like, some deep dives into, like, some Reddit threads and stuff like that, um, I finally made it make sense. Basically, her goal, which we're gonna talk about, um, is to awaken this evil spirit for reasons, right? But in order to get what she needs from the spirit needs a body, and Yamwa needs somebody who is weak in spirit so that this evil spirit can take over the body. And so she found somebody like Yanu whose parents weren't good to him, who just kind of like, you know, was down on his luck kind of naturally and kind of played on that weak spirit and weakened it more and more in the hopes of him being an eventual host for this evil deity. Um, and so when he sees Sangha, it's not only she's a shaman, but she is a shaman, like, it looks like in cahoots with Yamwa, who has basically made his life a living hell.
Hmm.
And
And I
so, yeah, he just started trusting her, falling for her, and he's like, "Oh, this is all a big fucking game."
Yeah, and also too, I mean, she was like he's like he's always wants to know what people's like ulterior motives are. He's very suspicious always. And so when she was like trying to get near him, he was suspicious of it. And she would kind of Songa would kind of reassure him, "Well, I just want to be your friend," which she did. Like she
Right.
wanted to be more
She
than his
was
friend.
earnest. Yeah, she was
Yeah, like
absolutely earnest.
she never actually she lied to him that she wasn't a shaman, but that was really it. She did wanna be his friend. She did wanna be near him. But when he saw that she was a shaman, he's like, "Oh, you never wanted any of those
Right.
things. Like, this was that was it was
He felt
you lied to
played.
me."
Yeah.
Yeah, he felt played, and I understand that. And I felt really bad for Ganu in that, moment. But let's kind of talk about Yamhua because
I still don't fully get it.
nope, none of us do. And this is I fully believe the drama, yes, massive letdown when it comes to Yamhua. I don't
And we did not read the source material. Let's just point that out right now because we're going to have people call us out. And I'm gonna point this out right now, okay? This is based on a webtoon, as many dramas are,
yeah, I
okay?
don't care about the webtoon.
I
I
haven't read the
watched
webtoon.
I don't care.
I care about this adaptation. This is what I'm here for, and so this is what we're talking about. So if you're gonna come at me and tell me that the source material does the exact same thing, that's fine. Then I blame the source material too. Like, this being true to the source material doesn't mean that it's not still a mess, because
Yeah.
it is.
The way it was presented in the drama that we watched, it was a mess. It was a total mess. And I don't think many people can like disagree with us. But so we still don't know Yumhua's we okay, so we know that she lost a baby. We do not know how, correct? Like, we never find out how she lost the baby. We don't know who the dad is. We don't know anything. We know
But
she lost
we just know that she lost a baby, and the and she's carrying something on her back that looks like a baby coffin. Like
Right.
like it's a ghost, like, it's
So
not
the
really there. Yeah.
Yeah, and so the baby maybe hasn't moved on or something like that. But yeah, and so that's the whole reason apparently she wants to like bring forth this evil deity, but I'm not really sure how the evil deity is going to like
Feel like it's
deal
to
with the
bring her baby
baby.
back. I feel like she wants to bring her baby back, but, like, how many years has it been now, or
Yeah, lady,
months
what?
even? Like, babe, I'm sorry, like, a death of a child is terrible, I can't even fathom it, but, like, that body is not in any shape to be resurrected.
Well, yeah, lady, we don't know what you're doing. So, and I would say I liked this is where I'm going to say, and we're going to get a little bit more to this later when we talk about the ending. I love that it was 12 episodes, but I do think it could have been more. I think we could have had at least like one episode where we had some good backstory because that was a big letdown with Yumhua. And what was also so frustrating is that Yumhua was doing bad shit. We all knew she was doing bad shit, but and no one was like stopping her from doing, like they all knew she was bad and she was
And she was
doing.
staying in, like, I mean, the little bit of backstory that we do know is that Yeonhwa was a protege of the general, just like Song-ah is. She was taken in, treated like a daughter, but then when she went rogue, the general was like, "I wash my hands of you, like, you're trying to do some bad shit, and I don't want any part of it." Um, but then when they kind of, like, captured her, like, trying to resurrect this ghost, they're like, "Oh, it's better if she stays here." 'Cause the general cursed her. The general cursed Yeonhwa to stop her from resurrecting this ghost, even though she still did it. But and that she cursed her and then saved her from cursing her, and then was like, "Here, I got a bed for you."
Yeah, it got real weird. Okay, the Yumhua stuff got real weird, and I thought the actress who played Yumhua was perfectly like good. She was
Yeah, she
great.
was great.
I liked her. I just think that like she wasn't given a lot to work with, and I don't even know if she fully understood her character
No, I
motivations.
mean, I was gonna say, like, when you see in when people are, like, playing actors in TVs or movies and they're, like, jokingly like, "Well, what's my motivation?" Like, seriously, I think this actress is probably like, "What the fuck's my motivation? Like, why am I doing all
Am
this?"
I bringing my baby back? Like, what am I doing with this evil deity? Because that's again, that's the whole point. She's like feeding souls to this evil deity in this like old house in order to like make him strong enough to inhabit a body, but then we don't know what she was doing once she had that evil deity. Like we don't know that. Really? You know?
And and this so she's trying to wake a ghost that's not at rest, right? A ghost that's not at rest, that if the ghost kills, is it like 100 people or
Mhm.
whatever, it will become this unstoppable evil deity.
Mhm.
But, like, the ghost that she resurrects that hops on into Gyeonu's body is a child.
Because that so this is what happens. She succeeds in her goal, and of course her whole goal was to prep Eeyore Gyunu to be a host for this evil
Unbeknownst to
spirit.
him, right.
I mean, no, see him. But yes, when when the spirit takes hold of Gyanu's body, he's like a giddy child. It's actually one of the funniest things because you don't expect it. Like at first
No.
he's a little evil because he's kind of like playing with Song-ah. But then once he gets like free of the haunted house, he's just like, shit, I'm free. And he's just like running down the road giggling. It's the
Like,
weirdest.
cackling. It's so funny.
It's
Yeah,
so
so,
funny.
like, I don't even know. Yeah, when the spirit first takes hold of Gyeonu's body, he runs off down the road laughing gleefully until Song-ah finds him in town and learns that if she touches Gyeonu, Gyeonu's presence as himself returns. But if she lets go, his new inhabitant, who Song-ah names Bong-su,
Bang
takes over.
Sue!
Because here's one of the things, right? So, uh Gyeonu being overtaken by Bong-su can happen because he's weak in spirit. Bong-su can't cross over, supposedly, because the spirit of Bong-su doesn't know what his real name is, and he needs his name to cross over. So Sangha's like, "Well, I gotta call you something." So she names him Bongsu, and so okay, so we talk about the giggling, but, like, what is your first impression of Bongsu? And what are your thoughts on the touch connection between Sangha and Yeonu?
I freaking love Bong-soo. I'm sorry. He was so funny. He was funny, he was charming. And props to Chu Young-woo because you knew who he was immediately. Like from his eyes to the way he
Yes.
held his mouth. Um, you knew it. You knew immediately if he was Gyunu or Bongsu. It was truly a delight to watch that difference. And then the whole touch connection was pure genius from like a romance standpoint. Okay, because it was basically it was forced proximity because she had to be near him or she had to be touching him
Touching him, or
in
else
order to keep
Bongsu had control.
yeah, in order to keep Bong-su at bay, and you kind of needed to keep Bong-su at bay because Bong-su was really unpredictable. So he was, like, kind of a child, he was like a teen,
He was a young
and
teen, like,
he
younger
was like
than them.
yeah, he was like a young teen,
'Cause we get to see him as a ghost later, or, like, in, like, sort of like a ghost realm, I guess, and he's like a young soldier.
but he, like, yells at people,
Yes.
he's ill-behaved, okay, and they're in a school, so she, like, has to keep Bong-su at bay 'cause, he can't be trusted. And the only way to do that is to touch Keanu at all times, and it is so funny. They have to be, like, holding hands, they have to be doing like,
They just sleep together.
they had to sleep beside each other, all and it was delicious. Like, let me tell you, this was my favorite part of Head Over Heels. Like, this section here
Mhm.
where, like, um, he knew she was a shaman at this point, right? Am I losing my
Yes.
mind?
Yeah,
Yeah, sorry,
because
okay.
for a little bit, he has to just be okay with the touch thing because he knows it's the only way he could be around, but eventually he comes to start trusting her again and realizes that, yes, she was trying to save his life, like, as a shaman, but also she has been falling in.
Yeah, and so I love it that so the secret's out. That's another thing I really love. They didn't drag out the fact that she had this secret identity. They didn't drag it out for the whole show. He knew pretty quickly that she was a shaman. It actually happened quicker than I expected. It actually happened pretty quick. And then they're forced to be together. So he's mad at her. She's is trying to keep her distance from him because she knows that it's like upsetting him and then they're forced together and it's just so good and it was my favorite part of the whole drama.
It's great romantic tension. Great romantic
So good.
tension, but then also great, like, physical comedy too, because they have to like, they're afraid that they're gonna let go of each other while they're sleeping, so, like, their hands are bound together. They have to sleep in the same bed, they're teenagers, like, the general's letting him stay with them in order to keep watch on Bong-su because everybody knows that Bong-su is in there. And Bong-su is, like, he throws temper tantrums, basically, if he doesn't get his own way, like, he yells and he whines, and it's magnificent, and I think that's it's obviously part of the reason why Janu was so Eeyore and morose in the beginning is because we had to have a big change when Bong-su came, and we had to see, like, a definite difference between these 2 people. Um, but then we do, like, because of this body possession situation, we do finally get to see Janu sort of taking the reins a little bit, which is fun.
Yeah.
Okay. So So Bongsu's goals, like, totally clash with Yamwa's goals, like, she wakes the wrong spirit, basically. He wants he doesn't want he doesn't wanna do anything for her. He's not an evil spirit, but he still is big trouble for Ganu because what does Bongsu want?
Yeah, he wants to grow up, he wants to be an adult because he died when he was a kid.
And the only way he can do that is to stay in Gyanu's body.
Stay in Genyu's body, and that's not what Yamwa wants, that's not what Gyanu wants, that's not what Sangha wants, like,
So
no one
I
wants
think it's
this.
even better than him being evil because we've got a whole other wrench in everybody's plans.
Mhm. You have an evil spirit with agency but it's agency that, like, fucks everyone's plans up, but it's
Yes.
also agency that's different. Like, it's not like, "I wanna take over the world, I wanna kill people." It's, "No, can I just stay in this body and get to, like, be the adult I never got to be?" Because we find out later he was basically a child soldier. He was a child soldier who was killed. It's terrible, it's horrible. He had a like, that's and so then you start to sympathize with Bong Su, you
Absolutely,
know?
he's a very sympathetic villain.
Yeah, which is what I also liked about it.
Way more so than Yeonhwa.
Yeah, because and you
I
know
mean,
what,
it's terrible she
Yeonhwa,
lost a child, but, like,
well,
we
she
never
could have been
understood
a
her goals, so it made it
yes,
harder to sympathize with her.
she could have been a better villain if they gave us just more information on her. I
Yes.
mean, really, I do think that there are some parts of this drama that I think went off the rails in a way that was never gonna make sense, but I do think that there are a lot of things that could have been cleared up and would have really changed the trajectory of, like, how I think a lot of people felt about the ending. Like, they just needed a little bit of clarification on some things, but it is what it is. Um, so and this is kind of what we're getting at. The last 2 episodes have caused a lot of conversations, so let's talk about them. So first there's a big time jump. So you're not there's a big time jump where Song I think it's like 2 or 3
It's
years.
2 years. I think it's 2
It's 2
years.
years. And we have kind of like double noble idiocy. So first Song Ah decides to take Bonsu in her body to save Gyanu because she's like, I'm stronger. Basically, she kind of has stronger will. She's stronger than Gyanu. But then Gyanu takes Bonsu back to save Song Ah. And this is when things start getting a lot of there's a lot of shaman things going
It takes a
on.
long time though because, like, she's missing for 2 years, like,
She's missing
nobody
for 2
sees
years.
her.
But it is funny because before we get to actually, she comes back. So she finally comes back and she's fucking hilarious because she's Bong
As she's
Su
Bong-su, yeah.
in Song A's body and it's hysterical. Like this, look, Bong Su is having the time of his life. Okay. He doesn't give a fuck. He is just living life. Um, And I would say it does get sort of weird too, because like Bongsu just looks like he's having a great time, but then Yamhua's like, "Oh no, they're off killing or something," and I'm like, "What?" That was a very weird.
Right, basically she's saying that, like, they have to find him because Song-ah will never be able to, come back. The only way to get rid of Bong-su and stop them from killing they must be killing everybody because that's what's gonna turn him into an evil deity. The
Yeah,
only way to stop them is to kill her. But, like, we never see them kill one person.
yeah, and Bongsu, I'm like, "But Bongsu's not killing anyone. What are you talking about? Bongsu is a sweetheart. Bongsu
He's
just
like
wants to
having
like,
he's like having a gap year.
yeah, he's
Like, because they all graduate high school, and Song-ah misses her graduation because she's having a gap year as Bong-su.
Bongsu having a gap. He's backpacking Europe.
That's what they're doing, they're just traveling all over the place, living their best lives. And when
My
when
God,
when she, as Bong-su, is, like, hiding in the box at Flower Shaman's place, and
yeah,
Yeonu goes there, and they're talking, and, like, the box, like, keeps making noise, and finally, like, she just pops out, and then, like, the giggling again, like, giggling, and she just runs off, and, like, he's chasing her, and it's hilarious because he's just a free-spirited teen trying to live his life.
just I loved Bongsu. I can't help it, no matter what, and like I just loved him. Like I don't know what to say. But I understand so a lot of things happen though. Once cuz then somehow this thing there's a lot of like shaman things that happen that you're like couldn't they have done that earlier in the drama? Like things aren't fully explained. But I have to be honest, I understand some people toward the last few episodes I saw a lot of people said this, so it wasn't, just, like, one person, but there was, like, a lot of shaman stuff. I would say that didn't bother me. I think it's weird that it didn't bother me because normally I'm not, like, seeking out shaman stuff, but I think there was something about this drama that just made me forgive a lot, and I think it's because I was so connected with the characters that I was very forgiving. We've talked a lot about endings that ruin a drama for us. Um, and I there are plenty of dramas where the ending has ruined the whole drama for me. Um, just because the ending kind of completely turns the drama on its head. Maybe like characters they act out of character. The plot completely unravels. They go to Argon, such and such. I would say for this drama, I understand some people felt that the ending just kind of was too hectic for them and they didn't like it. For me, it didn't go that far for me. For me, I was still like, did I think the last 2 episodes were kind of a mess? Yeah, of course. Like I don't know. Yeah, of course. But I still to me the core essence of the drama was still in place.
Yes.
Shamanism was part of the entire drama. Like there was always
Yes.
a lot of shamanism. And I also again, I felt like the characters maintained who they were. Um Gyanu, like, I don't him, like, shooting arrows in the woods at demons, sure. Like, give it to me.
To try and find her. Look, I think one of the complaints that people had is they felt like there was a big tonal shift, and I'm gonna play devil's advocate and say I don't think there was, because I think this drama runs on tonal shifts. It's very dark and morose in the beginning with Gyunu, and then we get into lighthearted comedy. We get dark again in the middle because let's not forget, like, the general dies, okay? It's like,
Yeah.
the general dies because of Yumwa trying to take control of Bongsu, and Bongsu trying to free himself, calls in a Grim Reaper, and I think he was trying to, call it in on Yumwa, and it ends up taking the general.
But the
Um,
general did sacrifice herself,
she
and that's the
did
thing. So
To save Yumwa, but then
yeah, so this kind of, like
Or sorry, Bongsu was remorseful. Like, he cried. He's like, "This isn't what I meant to do."
right,
So,
and
he
also,
was
so, like,
yeah,
the personal sacrificing bit was always a part of the drama.
yes.
Yeah, for me, I agree. I think if
Like,
the
it went
last 2
up and
episodes
down, like,
yeah.
it got goofy at the end, and then it got serious, but I think it did that the whole way through the drama, so I don't think that that was a departure is all that I'm trying to say.
Yeah, I mean, again, I thought it got super messy with plot
Yes.
threads. Absolutely. Like, I mean, there was a whole bunch of weird stuff that happened, and it didn't make sense. And then both Yumhua and Gyanu were like trying to sacrifice themselves, and that didn't. I mean, none of that like checked out. I would say plot wise, but then I was also kind of like. I mean, it makes sense that Gyanu well, I don't know. I don't know if it made sense that he was, like, ready to sacrifice himself, but I still didn't I it still didn't ruin the drama for me in a way that made me, like, forget all the enjoyment that I've had up until that point. Um, and I think that that's a case by case basis for dramas. Like, again, there are dramas where, yes, the ending ruined it for me because I almost have to pretend the ending didn't exist for me to enjoy the drama. I didn't feel this way. I felt like it got messy and it needed another episode or 2, but it didn't completely, like, shit the bed.
100% agree. 100 I mean, it was wild, but I didn't it was wild, but I didn't hate it. And it was like, yeah, they kept saying that the only way to have at this point, the only way to have Bongsu pass on was for Gyonu to die and basically take him with him. And then Yeonhwa was, gonna sacrifice herself in a ceremony. It I to redeem herself? I don't even know, because she never even tried, not once, to use Bongsu for whatever she wanted as far as her baby. Not
Yeah.
once. We never saw that come to fruition to see what she actually wanted and what he could have done for her. And that's, I think, the messiest part of the drama. And so I feel like they tried to tie everything up at the end with, let's redeem Yamwa, let's get rid of Bongsu, let's have the hero and heroine sacrifice for each other. But then it was Sangha who was like, okay, guys, there's gotta be another way.
Yeah, even Songall was like, what the fuck are you
Yeah,
doing?
like,
Why are
there's
you
gotta
doing
be
this?"
another way.
She's like, "Why are you doing this weird shit in this house? Like, get
And then,
out."
like yeah, and then it was, like, when there was a time, like, when Bong Su had, like, fully, like, taken over, like, Yenu was, like, stuck in, like, the ghost realm where he could, like, talk to Bong Su's, like, actual ghost and stuff like that, and Sangha's like, find out his name, we just need to know his name." And then I think at the end, like, he admits to knowing his name.
No, it's the fact that he thought he didn't know his name because he had, like, created a
We
companion,
created another person, that's what it was.
remember? And
But
so
he was
which
alone because he was scared and
I
alone.
admit that that felt like a plot cop out too.
Okay.
Don't
Yeah,
you? Didn't you?
that was like a Deus Ex Machina, like,
Yeah,
how
I was
can
like,
yeah,
"Oh, okay."
yeah.
I mean,
Okay,
there
I
are
totally forgot
yeah.
about that, you're right. So, yeah, he thought that that person was his name, right?
Yeah, and also I was like, "Yumhua, why don't you just take Bongsu and, like, you just go together? Like, if you wanna sacrifice yourself, why are you making Gyanu do it too?" Like, it was very like, again, totally
Right.
messy and weird. Um,
And then nobody died,
no, Yumhua
except for
was fine.
the general did, but that was, like, a few episodes ago, but, like, yeah. I mean, Bongsu crosses over, he's like, "I know my name, peace," like,
Yeah. Thanks, everyone.
gap
It's yeah.
gap year was great. Party's over.
One thing I did love about Bongsu, one of my favorite scenes was so Bongsu almost starts falling in love with Song-ah. I mean, he's
Yes.
like, and, there is so when she has to, like, sleep next to Gyanu, there's, like, what they called it, like, the hour of the ghosts or something. What was it? That was, like,
The ox.
the hour of the ox, thank you. It was, like, in the middle of the night, and basically that was, like, the only time she could when he was Bong-su that she could see Gyanu. And, so the one time and Bong-su is starting to be like, maybe Song-ah, like, likes me too. Like, again, he's like a young teen, he's, like, delusional, um, and he's like a ghost, so it's like the hour of the ox,
But
and
even if she's touching him, Bong-su can awaken.
right,
But
so
she doesn't know this when this
right, yeah,
happens.
so she thinks she's talking to Gyanu, and so the way she is talking to him is in a 1,000 time more affectionate way than she has ever talked to Bong. And it's funny because I remember when he woke up, I was like, "This is Bongsu. It's not Gnu." And I feel like we all knew, and she should have known, but she didn't because I think she was, like, really expecting it to be Gyanu, and she wanted it to be Gyanu. And then when Bongsu, like, is like, "It's me. It's not Gyanu." And it was like that was the realization that for it was a little bit of a realization for him, like, he was never going to be able to be for her what Gyanu is, but it was
Right.
also just so
It was
sad
sad. It was so
because
sad.
you know at that point that he was like a child soldier who died, and you know that all he wants to do is kind of like be loved, and like have friends. Like that was one of the things Bongsu like kept doing at school was like making friends.
He
Um,
was so popular, oh my gosh, like,
okay, so popular.
because there was a time because this is the time where Gyanu is, like, trapped, right?
Mhm,
And so she was hoping that the hour of the ox is when she could see Gyanu, and he
mhm.
pretended to be Gyanu. I get it now. I'm thinking of it because there's a
I know
couple
it is.
different times
It's
the hour of the ox happens. But yeah,
yeah.
um, but yeah, when he is like Bongsu all day long, um, he is like the most popular kid in school.
It's so it's so funny, and that's why it was just so hard for me to like that like, I couldn't I know there were a lot of people especially our listeners who didn't love the last 2 episodes, and I totally get it, but I was like, I just can't I just I got so
Bongsu
much
being
enjoyment.
Bongsu is so fun.
Yeah,
Yeah,
and Bongsu was Bongsu the whole time, like, that's the thing, I like, he I think he, like, stayed true to himself, and so there was definitely, like, messy writing and messy plot threads, and Yum Hua was definitely kind of, I would say, let down as a character, um,
but the
and there was definitely
performances were great, and I
yeah,
think that's what helps.
performances are great, I mean, the romance was good for, I would say, like, a high school drama romance, but I also wasn't, like I wasn't almost necessarily there for a romance. I was
No.
there does that make
No.
sense? Like, I felt like it wasn't like Crash Landing on You romance, where it was, like, the heart aching, will they or won't they? This I think it's because this was a high school drama, and it felt like a high school drama, and really you're just wanting the connection between these 2 characters because both Gyunwoo and Song-ah had been outcasts, and they had really formed this, like, bond between the 2 of them and this trust, and so, in the end, I just that's what you're hoping for. You wanted this reunion with them so they could once again, like, be there for each other, and so, yeah, man, I just can't fall I can't hate this drama, I can't, and I totally get, people are gonna be like, "Bending sucked," and I don't know, I almost can't even go that far to say it sucked.
No,
I'm just
I don't
like,
think it sucked. I don't
I think it was
because, like,
messy. I think it was
it was
messy.
definitely a mess. Look, there are dramas where endings can ruin it for me, and there are dramas where endings don't do what they're supposed to, and I still like the drama, and this is one of them. And, like, I've brought it up many times before, but I'll bring it up again. Like, What's Wrong with Secretary Kim? I love that drama, but it had 2 episodes of fluff at the end that we didn't need, that kind of made it drag. Did it make me hate the drama? Absolutely not.
No, no.
I still love it.
Yeah, and I think it was that this is the way this one was for me. I really love the leads. I mean, Cho Yi-hyun was just so adorable as Song-ah. She was so watchable. She was
And now we
so
get to see her and All
charismatic.
of Us Are Dead again,
N
like, for
and
real. I'm
yes,
so excited
me too. Now we get to
because
see
she was
her
my
as
favorite
Namra.
character. She was my favorite character.
She was my favorite character too, but she was kind of Eeyore. I mean, with good reason. She was
She
like
had good reason. Yes.
she was a Hamby. But, yeah, I just really loved her. I really fell for her. As I mean, don't get me wrong, Chu Young-woo was, like, what brought me to this drama, but I would say I came away as a massive Cho Yi-hyun fan. She really blew this one out of the water for me. And now I'm 100% gonna be, like, watching for her. I wanna see what else she's doing. Because now that I've seen her in these vastly different roles, I'm like, "Well, shit." I'd like to see her play an adult, but she also looks incredible. Like, if we're gonna say
She is a baby face 20 something for sure.
I 100% thought she could be in high school. I mean, and Jiho too, he looked
Yes.
pretty young. But yeah, I don't know, man, this was just such a fun like, I
I
finished
enjoyed it.
watching it. Yeah, I finished watching it and I was like, "Well, that was freaking fun." I'm so glad I watched it. I love the characters and I just don't regret it, and thank you for watching it with me.
Thank you for getting me on board because it's absolutely my type of drama. And I mean, we've said it time and time again, like the type of dramas that we love, but like recommend me high school dramas with good romance. Like I'm here for it. But also, grown up dramas with good romance too.
Yeah. Well, and I'm also really like, I've really been loving, um, paranormal elements.
Yes, that's what I was gonna say. Like I feel like for me to like I don't want just a straight high school, like a straight contemporary high school, because that's gonna feel too young for me. But when you add in the fantasy element, and again, like that's why I love, love, love Extraordinary You, is it's a high school drama, but like that's not what it's about. It's about like these are people who think they're people, but they're characters in a comic.
Mhm.
And some of them are becoming aware. And like, that is such a great hook. And trying to be the main character of your own story when you are literally written as a side character. So, yeah, I mean, just another plug for,
I
Extraordinary You,
know.
especially
And
being a writer.
I
But yeah,
know, I know.
give me a high school drama with a paranormal or magical element to it for sure.
Yeah, and I'm not gonna, like, get into, like, my story idea, but this drama 100% gave me a story idea that I'm kind of like I've been running with. I've run it all by Amy and Leah, but that's always a good sign. Like, that's actually an excellent sign.
When it inspires you,
When it
absolutely.
inspires me, again, I'm not writing a version of Head Over Heels, like, but, I would say I'm usually inspired by tropes and like conflicts and character archetypes, like that's kind of what I'm inspired by, and those are universal across kind of like all languages, all, types of content. And that's really what inspired me for Head Over Heels. So that's another, I just can't hate it because it was really inspiring to me.
There's
The
a lot
different
of good. There's
ways,
a lot of good in the
so
writing,
much good.
even though it gets messy later. There's a lot of
Yeah,
good.
because I'm still convinced. I am still convinced that they had it, that it made sense and things were cut. I'm convinced. And
Oh,
maybe I'm
it could,
wrong
yeah, things could have gotten edited out that,
because
like,
the
we
writing
needed.
felt yeah, because the writing felt really good at the beginning. So that's what I'm convinced of. So I almost feel like I can't even hate the writers either.
Look, we don't know. We don't know what happened in the studio. We just know that it got a little clunky, and
Yeah.
we're
Hey,
forgiving. We're
some of my
forgiving.
books get clunky. It
Yep.
is what it is. But and and it's our personal decision which ones we forgive and which ones we don't. But anyway, this was
This is when
fun.
we do. Yeah, it was fun.
Yeah, this
I'm
is
glad we
one.
watched. Thank you for recommending it. I
Yeah,
really enjoyed it.
I know, me too. Okay,
Yay.
well, until next time.
안녕.
안녕.
감사합니다. Thank you for listening to Afternoon of Delight. Where can you find us outside the pod? Head on over to afternoonadelight.com. That's AFTERNOONADELIGHT.com. You'll find links to all our social media, our book recs, K-pop and K-skincare recs, and if you want even more Afternoon of Delight, because really who doesn't, you can join our Patreon, where you can choose the patron level that's right for you. Join in daily K-drama conversations, listen to bonus podcast episodes just for patrons, and participate in our monthly live K-drama support group via Zoom. We can't wait for you to be a part of the community. Until next time, annyeong!